Israeli media reported on April 18, 2024, that Tel Aviv had conducted retaliatory strikes against Iran in the early hours, launching missiles that targeted western regions of the country. The explosions were audible in Isfahan, prompting commercial flights to reroute. Tel Aviv justified the action as retaliation for Iran's recent extensive attacks on Israeli cities. However, Iranian officials countered, stating that all drones and missiles were intercepted, with no significant damage. Israeli media reported explosions, while Iranian sources claimed they were caused by the downing of 3 drones over Isfahan by air defense systems. The minor explosions within Iranian territory suggest that Israel carried out a restrained operation to prevent a major escalation with Tehran and potential confrontation with the United States and Western allies. However, Israeli drones spotted over Isfahan could be linked to attempts to target Iran's nuclear facilities, albeit without success. The United Nations' main nuclear watchdog verified that Iranian nuclear sites were unaffected. Isfahan holds strategic significance, hosting various crucial sites such as military research centers and bases. Natanz, located nearby, houses one of Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities. The recent tensions between Iran and Israel, 2 arch rivals in the Middle East, escalated rapidly as Tel Aviv intensified pressure on pro-Iranian proxy groups across Lebanon, Gaza, Syria, and Iraq in response to the conflict with the Hamas militant organization. This critical escalation in the geopolitically fragmented Middle East has raised concerns among neighboring regional states such as Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and Iraq. As such, regional states called on all parties to de-escalate and restrain their reactions to spare the region and its people the scourge of war. They also urged the UN Security Council to shoulder its responsibility to avert a dangerous escalation in the region. Saudi Arabia, as the leading regional actor, has long been at odds with Iran until diplomatic détente in March 2023 under the supervision of China. Therefore, when the war in Gaza unfolded following the October 7 attacks of Hamas, Riyadh maintained a relatively lower profile in the conflict in order not to trigger rivalry with Iran and challenge the US's strong backing of Israel. However, earlier, the independent sources argue that several Gulf states, among them Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, passed on intelligence about Iran's plans to attack Israel, providing vital information that was key to the success of the air defense measures that almost entirely thwarted the massive assault. The cooperation was spearheaded by the US, which has for years been striving to form an informal military partnership to counter threats from Iran. An Israeli response, however, would test the durability of an informal coalition of awkward bedfellows, including Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates, whose recent cooperation against Iran has the potential to be damaging on the home front. Nevertheless, Iran did not put the blame on Riyadh and Abu Dhabi, even though it threatened Jordan for its alleged role in supporting the US-Israel tandem and providing them access to its airspace. The idea is that an unprecedented united front to defend Israel has been formed around the military coalition led by Washington, London, and Paris, with the support of Arab partners. Notably, the US has quietly built a network of air defenses for many years, establishing a robust military presence to fight potential regional wars and defend its regional allies. Iran's counterattack on April 13th was the first time Tehran struck Israel directly after 45 years of threats. Until that time, it restrained itself despite Israel's repeated attacks on Iranian military sites and assassinations of its top nuclear scientists and officials. The missile exchanges between Tehran and Tel Aviv, the devastating war in Gaza with Hamas, and frequent bombings of Iraq and Lebanon suggest that the Middle East is already a highly unstable region, and the additional tensions inflame the situation even worse. Although the Gulf monarchies, led by Saudi Arabia, attempt to keep a balance between Israel, US, and Iran, the situation on the ground is changing rapidly, including the risks of conflict spillover.